So today we are going to do this garlic and herb seafood boil, and the absolutely one thing I love about food is there is no right or wrong way to do it. You can do it exactly how you like it, and food is so versatile, and I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how I make my garlic and butter seafood boil. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get me some of these baby potatoes right here. Well, not baby potatoes, but red potatoes, and I'm going to clean them off with just a little bit of cold water. Make sure I rinse them off real good to get anything off of the potatoes that we don't want on the potatoes before I go ahead and cook them. Now, while I am preparing my ingredients for the seafood boil, I am going to go ahead and start with my pot. I'm going to get a big pot and add a lot of water to it, and then I'm going to go ahead and with some of this Zatarain shrimp and crab boil. Now, when you read the instructions, it says to use just 1 capful, and I'm telling you, 1 capful is more than enough. Do not be like me. I am warning you now. 1 capful is good enough. I'm going to go ahead and add in some of that Tony's Creole seasoning. In addition to the Tony's Creole seasoning, I am going to go ahead and add in some garlic powder and some onion powder, because you can't have one. You got to have both. I did go ahead and add in some Old Bay as well. In addition to the Old Bay, we are going to go ahead and add in some of that seafood seasoning as well. And once I get all my seasonings in there, I'm just going to go ahead and mix everything up. Now, you can add whatever seasonings you like. This is just going to be the base of what I'm going to use for cooking our seafood. After our seafood is done, we are going to go ahead and make a little garlic butter at the end, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did that. Once I got everything seasoned and mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and mix this together, let this come to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, I am going to go ahead and start with my potatoes first, but always make sure that you're adjusting your seasoning. If you feel like it needs more seasoning, do not be afraid to add more. If you feel like it has enough, then go ahead and give it a good mix everything up, and then we're going to go ahead and start with adding in our potatoes first, because that's going to take the longest to cook. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I put those in there first. Once I got my potatoes in there, it was time for me to go ahead and continue on preparing the rest of the ingredients. And by the rest of the ingredients, we are going to go ahead and add in some shrimp, some lobster tail, crab legs, corn. But before we get there, we're going to go ahead and start working on our sauce while our potatoes is cooking. First thing we went on ahead and did was go ahead and slice up some onions. As you can see, we're going to get our onions sliced up. In addition to slicing up some onions, we are going to go ahead and slice up some garlic as well. Now, if you want, you can use the garlic in the jar. But to me, in my personal opinion, when you use fresh garlic, it tastes a whole lot better. So if you have the time, I always recommend to go ahead and dice up some fresh garlic. Once we get the onions and the garlic diced up, we're going to go ahead and put it to the side until we are ready to make our sauce at the end. And once your garlic is diced up, it should look something just like this. Now, you can dice it up as small or as big as you like, but I like to get mine pretty small. After that, I did go on ahead and add in the eggs, because it was time for me to go ahead and put those eggs in, because the potatoes was just about done. And I'm going to go ahead and add about 4 eggs. After I add my eggs in there, it was time to go ahead and add me some corn as well. And I'm going to go ahead and put about 4 pieces of corn in there as well. Once everything was done, I did start to remove it and put it in a pan so that we can go ahead and put our seafood in. Now, while our seafood is cooking, I'm going to start working on our garlic butter sauce, which is going to be some unsalted butter. I do not recommend using salted, because we're going to add seasoning in there. I'm definitely going to tell you to get that unsalted butter. But if you have to use salted butter, then just go light on your seasonings. I'm going to add 2 sticks of the unsalted butter, and I'm going to go in with just about the exact same seasonings that we use to season our water. But before you add your seasoning in there, we're going to go ahead and start cooking down our garlic and our onions so those can start sauteing and releasing those flavors. After that, I'm going to go in with my Tony's seasoning. I am going to go in with my seafood seasoning. I did go ahead and add in a little bit of lemon pepper as well. And even though we have garlic in there, I'm still going to add garlic powder and onion powder. Go ahead and add you in a little cayenne if you like it spicy. If not, you can go ahead and add you in a little bit of paprika for color as well. In addition to that paprika, you can go ahead and put you a little bit of parsley if you're feeling fancy like that. It's just going to give it a little bit of razzle dazzle. Now, you're going to go ahead and let this cook and then taste and adjust to your liking. Now, we're going to put this on low low and let everything combine and become one. After that, it was time for me to go ahead and clean off my crab legs, which I'm going to go ahead and rinse those off. Just give it a nice cool rinse under the water, get all the ice chips off, anything that I don't want on there. This is my time to go ahead and get that off. Once my crab legs was done rinsing off, I did go ahead and add those in the pot as well. And at this point, once your corn and your potatoes and your eggs is done, everything else after this is going to cook quickly. So the crab legs are going to be in the water just until they get hot. I'd say about 5 to 10 minutes the most, because you don't want to overcook them and they become soft and mushy. So after my crab legs was clean, I went on ahead and added it right back into my seafood water and let that cook down. Now that our crab legs is cooking and our sauce is just about done, we're going to go ahead and cut our sauce off. We're going to add those crab legs in there. And after we get our crab legs in there, we're going to go ahead and start preparing the last bit of seafood for our seafood boil, which is going to be our lobster tail. And then we're going to add our shrimp at the very, very end, because the shrimp are only going to take a few minutes to cook and you do not want any over shrimp. But the way I'm going to go ahead and prepare my lobster tail is I have two tails like this, and what I'm going to do is just go ahead and split them right down the middle. But before I split them down the middle, I do like to go ahead with my kitchen scissors and remove any of the legs underneath it. It's not necessary, it's just my particular preference of what I like to do. After I remove the legs, I am going to go ahead with my knife and just slice my lobster tail right down the middle all the way until I get all the way to the bottom part of that shell. And then we're just going to go ahead and split it all the way open. Once your lobster tail is split, it should look something like this. And what I'm going to do next is just go ahead and clean all of that out. You do not want that in your seafood boil. So you want to make sure that you just go ahead and run it under some water and remove all of the nasty icky pieces inside of the lobster. Once you got that lobster clean, you're going to go ahead and repeat the process and do the same thing to the next part of your lobster tail. You're going to split it right down the middle. Make sure you go all the way through the shell, and then just check on the side for any icky pieces, and then just go ahead and rinse that off. Once you got rid of those icky pieces and your lobster tail is clean, we're going to go ahead and put it right in the water, and this is only going to take a few minutes to cook. Once everything is done and I put it in a pan, this is how everything was looking. I'm going to go ahead and add my sauce on there. I did go ahead and put my shrimp in there as well with the lobster tails. And once everything was done, it was time to go ahead and put that garlic butter sauce that we made. And then you're going to go ahead and give it a good mix. Mix everything in, because you want all your seafood to be covered with that sauce. Make sure you add as little or as much as you like. And you can go ahead and make you a little bit of that garlic butter sauce just to dip on the side. And when I tell you, this seafood boil was so good, and it was honestly very quick and easy to make. And you can also mix and match and add different ingredients. Next time you can do some crawfish, you can do some mussels, you can do some clams. You can go ahead and mix it, and it's going to come out delicious every single time.